Hey there, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to my channel. Danielle Karen 999 here with a special message for you today. My message for you today is, are we slaves? Are we slaves for the wealthy? Are we poor? Are we poor modern day slaves? Once again, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel. If you enjoy this kind of content, like this video and leave me a comment below, please. I'd love to hear from you. Are we slaves to the wealthy? Are we just modern day slaves? When you really think about it, what do we do most of our lives? We work. We work for someone else. We try to get as much sleep as we can so that we can continue working. It doesn't matter if we're sick, if we're not feeling well, if we need to rest. All we think about is getting better so that we can get back to the slave ship. We are modern day slaves in a prison planet that I call hell. This planet, we can't leave it. There's no leaving Earth. We are enslaved to the wealthy. From the moment we are born, our children are not even our children. They are a ward of the state. That's why they have a birth certificate. That's why we all have a birth certificate and we all have a social security number. We are known by our number, just like prisoners. We are here for cheap labor. We built up this entire country, the entire world. I'm not talking about just America. Everybody who's living right now in existence, I don't care what country you are, you're a slave. You're a slave. We work, we eat what they give us. We don't know if the food is contaminated and poisoned, the water is contaminated and poisoned. They keep us alive just enough so that we can work. They pump us with all types of medications and drugs. And then when that drug messes up something else in your body and they give you another drug, they keep us alive just enough so that we can go to work. In school, they don't teach us how to become entrepreneurs and employers. They teach us how to become employees. That's why we're so used to hearing the bells ringing in school. We walk down the long, dingy, gray hallways, just like prison. They give the children trays on their foods, just like prisoners. We get recess, go out in the yard, just like prisoners. We're in school all day. We're not getting any sun. And then we're moved to the job world where it's repeating itself. Work all day, no sun, inside of an office or wherever we are, a factory, wherever we can get work, right? We're modern day slaves. And when I woke up to this fact, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm just like, wow, we live on a prison planet that in my mind is hell. And we're all prisoners and slaves. And we're feeding a system. We're feeding a system with our energy, with our blood, with our sweat, with our tears, with our time, with our bodies, with our everything that we have, mind, body, soul, we are giving to these entities that we're feeding. And it comes through our jobs. but ultimately we're feeding a bigger system. The job that we're at, we are feeding a bigger system. We're all being controlled. We're all being controlled by a demonic force that is controlling civilization. How do we get out of it? I don't know about you, but I think about these things, and I think about my life, and I think about purpose, and I think about freedom, and I think about what are we here for, and what do we stand for, and what is our reason for being here. And I just keep coming up with these dark answers. And our only way out is God. That's the only way out. Like, believing in God, believing in a higher power that is able to release us from this prison, from this hell that we're in. We can pretend like we like our jobs. I don't think any of us like our jobs. And I know I've made videos about don't quit your job just yet. And I'm going to say don't quit your job, because if you quit your job, then what? Then you're going to be homeless. You're going to be, then the system will really get you. You'll be homeless. You'll be out begging for food and money. That's what the system really wants you to do. The system wants you to give up. The system wants you to just be hopeless. Because everywhere you look, there's just hopelessness. There's hopelessness. There's despair. There's poverty. There's grief. There's lack. Meanwhile, we have a handful of billionaires that run this country, that run the world. Multi-billionaires that own everything, from what we eat, from what we watch on TV, from what we listen to, from, everything, from what we wear, from what we buy, everything. They're the people on the top of the pyramid, and we're the ones on the bottom. And they are the puppet masters, controlling everything that we do, see, watch, hear, taste, smell, everything. They're in control. It's not necessarily the government. It's what's behind the government, the elites, which ultimately are ruled by the devil, Satan and his demons. That's what we're up against. And we're slaves to this system that they've created. We're slaves to this system, what they call the Matrix. But they want us to give up. They want us to give up hope. They want us to unalive ourselves. They want us to, just say, oh, I'm not subscribed. They want us to quit our jobs so that we can be out begging for food. They want us to go into debt so that they can have even more control over us. My focus right now is to paying off every debt that I have. Every debt. Because when you're in debt, you are really a slave. We're already slaves, and that enslaves you even more. I was watching this show called Squid Games, and it reminded me so much of this world that we live in. So basically, I was watching part 2, second season, and basically, it's this organization, elites, that give out these cards to people who are in massive debt. And the promise to them is that they can win all of this billions of dollars by playing these games. So they all gathered into this big arena. I think it was about 300 or 500 of them, I'm not sure. They all subscribed to play these games. But what they don't know is that the games are deadly. They're deadly games. And if you don't pass the game, you will get killed. They'll shoot you right there. Like, shoot you, and kill you. And they harvest their organs. Yeah, I was watching this. And it reminded me so much of the world that we live in. These people wanted to pay off their debt so bad, so they were killing each other to win these games. And some people didn't want to play the games anymore. So they had to vote. People that didn't want to play, the people that did want to play. And the people that did want to play outnumbered the people that didn't want to play. No matter how much blood was shed, no matter how much deadly these games were, they still chose to play the game because they had in their minds that they were going to win this money. And at the end of each game, they were able to vote out to say that they didn't want to play anymore. But no, they had so much debt that they wanted to keep playing because that would raise the pot of the winnings, the winning pot. It was a big piggy bank looming above their heads with a massive amount of money in it. It was so symbolic of, I feel, what is here and what's yet to come. America's in debt, but yet the whole country's in debt. China, I've been watching these videos about China, how they're losing jobs. People are losing jobs left and right. Party City has closed. I hear that Macy's is closing. Big Lots are closing. These companies are going out of business. Why? Because of the conglomerates of like Amazon and these big corporations that are monopolizing the economy. They're making no space for the other guys. People are buying everything through Amazon now. Jeff Bezos is multi-billionaire because of us, because of his slaves. And yet, we know that the work conditions at Amazon are not great. People are striking left and right. They don't care about the economy. They don't care about the global warming and all that stuff that they are all the waste that they are producing. I don't know if you've watched that movie, the documentary, Buy Now. Please watch that documentary if you haven't already done so. But this is what's going on. And if you speak out about it, then you're ostracized and you are criticized and you are banned. But are we just modern day slaves for the wealthy? Are we modern day slaves for the wealthy? Can you even afford to take vacations anymore? Yeah, so these are the things that I think about. And when I think about my life, when I think about my children's lives, like, I just feel like this world is getting worse and worse each and every moment of the day. It's something new, plane crashes and um people going, stores going out of business, people getting set on fire. It's just drones and orbs in the sky. There's a lot going on. But I want you to think about, are we slaves? Are we slaves for the wealthy elite that is running the show behind the scenes? Just like the Squid Game show. If you've ever watched it, go watch it. My daughter put me onto it. It's a Asian um series. It's in Korean, but it's interesting. And if you watch it with your discerning spirit and your discerning eyes, you will see how it correlates a lot to the world that we're living in now. Um, but people will do anything for money. Anything for money. They'll kill, steal, rob, destroy, anything for money. Money has become the god of all gods, and it's destructive. So one of the things that we can do as chosen ones is to get out of debt. If you're in debt, get out of debt as soon as you can. Pay off all your debts. Stay at your job as long as you can. But like I always say, aim to make multiple streams of income. Don't just let your job be the only income stream, because God forbid they pull the plug on that job, you'll be out of, it's hard to get a job nowadays. It's hard to get a job. AI will be taking over soon, and lots more people will be out of jobs. So, what will happen then? All right, my friends, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Please leave me a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and light.